Hello, my crafty friends. It's Kathy, the Backyard Stamper, and tonight I'm going to show you this gorgeous and easy card using the Country Birdhouse stamp set and dies. Oh, okay, well, I'll show you the dies. Oh, there they go. My fingers were caught. Okay. So, before we get started, I wanted to just explain that. Sorry, I forgot to mute my computer. There we go. Sorry, we don't need an echo in here. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that this bundle is in our new annual catalog, and it is part of a suite collection. And the samples in here are really gorgeous. So this one is part of there's two bundles that go with this suite collection. One is the Country Birdhouse, and the other is Country Flowers. They both have designer paper that goes with them because this is a mega collection. You can buy just the bundle, Countryside Birdhouse bundle, the Countryside Flowers, or you can purchase everything on these two pages and for one item code, 163418. If you decide to break them down into the smaller bundles instead of the mega bundles, then come down here towards the bottom of the catalog page here, and you can see that it has, this one is Country Birdhouse bundle, and here's the item code for that. And there's a discounted price of 10% off of both. The same for the Country Flowers. If you want just this, you come down here and don't use this code up here, okay? There's two kinds of designer paper in this suite. The one we're going to use today is the Country Woods. There's 6 different designs and 2 of each one. Sorry, there's 12 designs. So here they are. They're gorgeous. I love it. As soon as I saw this, I knew I wanted it because I really like this piece with the colors on it. And this one here too. This is great. So any kind of wood grain is always good to use for masculine cards, winter theme cards, all sorts of things. And today we are going to use this piece, and I'm going to show you how to make this birdhouse super quickly. Okay, so what I did was I took the designer paper is 12 by 12. And what I did was, let me just put something over that glare there. There, that works. Okay. So what I did was, this is 12 by 4, which means you can get 12 of these birdhouses. Now, see how close I stamped them? I stamped them, and this is going to be a card for my upcoming class people. So I wanted to make sure I had enough of the designer paper to for everybody to do the same design. They don't have to do the same, but you know, everybody likes to be the same. So what then I'm going to do is cut them out so that they're ready to go for my peeps. I put myself a little reminder to color the circle first, and I'll tell you why after we go. So we're going to color right on the designer paper, which I think is really fun and different too, you know. So let me show you what I mean. So I left myself a note to color this circle because when you die cut, it's the circle itself is a smidge smaller than this circle, so you see the black outline. And if you don't get the circle exactly placed, you get a little bit of the designer paper showing. So I thought, well, if I'm going to have a little bit showing, I might as well have the blue showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just coloring in my design here. And this is the light Night of Navy. And I'm not even blending. So you can use the regular markers with this too. And if you do, you just want to make sure that you use either Stays On ink or archival black. Okay. Sometimes I do color with the Memento Tuxedo Black, but sometimes my yellow markers, not the blends, the Stampin' Up markers, sometimes they look like they're getting muddy from the ink, but if you use Stays On, you never have to worry about that when you're using the markers. I have got some glue on here. Let me get that a wipe to clean it off here. I was making some magic slider cards and trying to get the adhesive just right. So apparently I just kind of made a mess of my glass mat. I'm just using an alcohol wipe to clean it up and get all that adhesive off. There. All right, all cleaned up. I missed a spot, I guess. Sorry. Okay. So now I've done my blue. Let me pull in my sample a little bit. And then for the eaves, I am using my dark pumpkin pie. And I can see on my computer that I have a little bit of a line here. I'm just sliding a little piece of vellum over it to cover where my light, and I'll straighten my desk up a little bit too. Just making sure it's all in the camera here. Okay. So let's go back to coloring just for a second. And you'll see these little pieces of tape here. When I have my classes, I don't let them use the brush tip of the marker, the blends, because the tip is fragile and it's just too easy to bend and make it kind of get messed up. So I just tape it shut and tell everybody to use the bullet tip. And honestly, that's what I use for all of my coloring. I don't think I've used the brush tip yet. Even for large areas, I'm happy to just make a bunch of little circles until it all fills in. It's kind of like taking the long way around, but it works. Okay, so now I am going to die cut this out. So let me set up my little die. Move this. There. Looks like I got it in place. Let me do that. And another little piece of Post-it note tape. Okay. And I need my circle. And this is what I was saying for the circle. It's just a smidge smaller. See how it's just a smidge smaller? But because I colored that in, I don't have to worry about if I'm exactly on the line anymore, which is nice. It's just one thing you don't have to stress about, is having it lined up. All right, so let me set up my emboss machine on my side table because I don't want to shake the camera and annoy everybody. So I'm going to just be right back. I'm just stepping to the side here and running it through my cut and emboss machine. All right. So I forgot to mention my sandwich when I'm doing my die cutting. You use plate number 1, the thin die adapter, plate number 2, and then 2 plate number 3s. And mine are, you know, pretty used. If this was a white piece of paper, I would not use such a well-used plate. I would use a top plate only one. So let's move that and bring out my pieces. I'll save my little Post-it tape for another die cut. All right, so I'll put my die back in my bin here. All right, and then the circle. Oh, that came out perfect with the ring. See what I'm saying about the little ring around? All right, so that worked out great. The funny thing about this, the circle die is it also leaves a hole in the middle. So you could take that and put that right there. Maybe that's why they did it. But I'm not going to do that today because I have another little trick up my sleeve. And put my die over there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the roof line. So I colored the trim, but now I'm going to cut off the roof line here. You're probably saying, Kathy, what are you doing? But you'll see in just a second. And let me just trim up this. I'm just evening it up. Hey, we got 2 Beckys. Hi, Becky Mullen, and hi, Becky White. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and that becomes my roof line. Isn't that neat? And then for the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut on my card, or on the line there. And these pieces can be die cut out too, but they're straight lines, so why not just hand cut them? There you go. And maybe because you get a crooked line here. There, so there's my birdhouse getting built. So I'm going to set that aside and show you the rest of my supplies. And so we're going to use basic beige today, which is one of the new neutral colors. It's great. I'm not really a fan of the vanilla, but I love the basic beige. So this is a piece of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then this piece is 3 3/4 by 5, and it's just going to be a layering piece, tone on tone, but we're going to stamp that. And then I have, for my inside, I have a piece of white that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I just have some scraps here. All right, so let's set my scraps aside. Let's get a little stamping mat so I don't stamp all over my, let's put it on the cleaner side. I was making a slider card using my our tune-in stamp set. I'll show you. It's so amazing. There's this is like a lane swerve. I just made this slider card. It's a magic slider card, and it's magic because look at this. Oops, pull it all the way out. There you go. Isn't that neat? So, I'm going to make a video on that too, but I just didn't have time. All right, back to the birdhouse here. Here's our basic beige, and I'm going to, this stamp set has a speckle stamp, which is always really, really good to have. Right there, speckle stamp. And we're going to speckle our design, our basic beige piece all over, tone on tone, but this color beige reminds me of River Rock. If you've been around for a while, we had a color, it wasn't in color, and it was called River Rock, and it reminds me of this. And it also reminds me of Sahara Sand, but Sahara Sand had a little greenish tone to it. And this kind of looks like that, but I think it's the light versus the actual stamp set. All right, so I've got my tone on tone done. And now I'm going to stamp my happy birthday. And I'm going to do that now because I might have to do a flip if I mess it up. Or I can cover it because I have, since I cut this piece off, I have some scraps of the basic beige. So I'm going to, whoops, I got a little piece of something. Let's test that. All right, let me just clean that really quickly there. I got a little heavy-handed on the Y. There we go. There, whoops, now I'm heavy-handed on the H. Well, we'll try it on this side and then I'll speckle over it. It's so easy to do on these thinner stamps. Oh, that looks great. Well worth the time to redo my speckles. There's one thing, if you know, if you can hide it with a little doodad, that's fine, but on the greetings, it's hard to hide, so I'd rather just flip and do it again. It's supposed to be random, but it looks like I'm doing it a little bit more in a pattern. But that's all right, because it's my card, right, Becky? Becky Mullen knows I always say that at my classes. When someone says, "Can I do this?" I say, "Yes, you can, because it's your card." Everybody chimes in and finishes saying it. All right, so now I've got this done. We can attach our birdhouse, but first I need to figure out the hole. So all I did was take a scrap of black and tape it over the opening. So let me get my seal plus, which I like to use better than the regular seal. So there we go. Nobody will see that, and look at how cute that looks. Okay, so now I'm going to just tape this down. I'm not going to pop this up because I am going to pop the roof line and the perch up, and the whole card is going to be popped up, and we don't want to have it be too high. Did I get that crooked? Yes, I did. My first card I made, the whole thing was crooked. But that's all right. I don't waste those because I kind of I give those to the people that might not appreciate a handmade card. Just saying. So for this is really skinny, and the foam strips would be great, but I can't find mine. So what I'm gonna do is just cut some little minis. This is the edge of the mini dimensionals. And I might need a couple more. I just did a bunch of little ones, and then I'm going to just stick them down. Huh. All right, let's try that, and let's be a little bit neater here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move this one because I got it hanging off the side. That's the, with the dark colors under this, with the blue and then the dark paper, you will see the dimensional if it's poking out. So, you know, like if it was white, you might not. So I'm just gonna make sure that they're really tucked in there. Okay, and just a little half a one right in that spot. I just found that it was worth taking the time to really fill this in because it's a narrow piece. It needs to still be well supported. Easy to like just look out of place if it's not even all the way down. So that's where I said the foam strips would have made that a lot easier. I don't know where mine are though. I'm gonna have to just break down and order some more. And you know, as soon as I do that, I will find them. Okay, so here's my, I need to just put my perch on. It looks like it has been there all along. Isn't that neat? And then I'm going to do the same thing with my perch. And I will use some bigger dimensionals for this side. The weather here in New Hampshire has been gorgeous, which I'm very happy. I've been working out in my garden and got the whole garden planted. Well, I have a couple more flowers to plant and just a couple more doodads, but I am almost running out of time. There. So my birdhouse is looking pretty good. And see how this one is just slightly different? It just depends on where it came from, the paper. Even though it's the same designer paper, the side is variegated a little bit. So see how it's like lighter and darker. And on this side, it's the same thing. You've got more of that calypso coral and in spots. So. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and pop this up onto my card base here. I don't know where my big dimensionals are. Hold on one second. There. I don't want to use the little ones unless I absolutely have to, because it just takes too long to peel them all off. after I get done here, I have to go back to work because it's budget time at work and putting in some longer hours than normal. All right, so used up every little bit of that one. And I've got my piece. And let me just smooth that down here a minute. There. All right, let's just peel these off. No one will ever know I had to do the flip. All right, that looks pretty good. So we've got that. Now let's do our bird on that piece of scrap paper. It's right here. My dog is whining. Sorry, Pepper, you gotta wait. All right, so I've got my bird and I'm gonna stamp it in the memento. Just like that. And while I have it out, I'm going to do the inside of my card. So let's get that one out. There was a little smudge. Okay. So let's put that there, and I'm going to do my greeting, and then I will see if I need to flip it before I color it. Hopefully not. One of the things I like about the font on this is because of the cursive and the straight, it's really hard to tell if you've got it crooked. So if I can't tell, then I'm sure the recipient can't tell. We hope anyways, right? And this bird here, I just did some very quick coloring. Where's my pool party marker? So what I did was I did light pool party. Oh, I took the cover off, but I didn't know where I put it. Light pool party all over. We have 2 birds' nests, and one nest is some finches, or phoebes, sorry, phoebes, and the other are robins, and it's been so fun to watch. But the robin built her nest like right under our deck stairs, sitting on something. So every time the dog goes up the stairs, she can stick her head right through. And she's been driving us all crazy trying to get to those birds. And then the other one is in near the gutter to our house, so too high up to see how it's going with those guys. And then I'm going to just do a little bit down here for the feet and the beak. And then for the eye, I just did a dot of the navy again, just like that. And then what I want to do, and this one here, I already have colored for you, so you don't have to watch. This one here, I want to do my speckle again. My random, not random speckle. And I'm just going to go like that and like that. Huh. Just gives it a little something something on the inside. All right, this one's ready to go in my card. I'm going to turn that around. Sometimes it's easier to get it straight when you are looking at the outside edges instead of the inside edges. Pretty good. Boy, my cutter really kind of did not like the basic beige paper. Okay, so I could use my little dot, like I said, but I'm going to do something else. But first, we got to pop up this little bird. The bird wants to be sitting on the perch. So I'm just gonna take a big one and one of the little ones here. And I think I'm gonna take one more of those little strips just because I can. All right. I can't believe May is over, and that means almost half of the year is over. Gosh, where does the time go? There. The little bird is sitting on the perch. I kind of tucked his feet under. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if we can move it or not move it. Let's see here. There. Kind of like that. There. Now its tail is kind of going up in the air, but that's okay. And then what I used was, these are opaque faceted gems. I don't know if they are still current, but the other thing you can use that looks pretty good, let me look through my embellishments here. Let's see here. Oh, these coffee swirls. Huh, these look good too. Let's use one of those. There. Isn't that perfect? See, it's the same as this one almost, but the difference is the faceted has like a little bit of texture to the gem, where this one is smooth all over. There. So what do you think? Let me just put some Winkastella on there, because we've got to do wink. Winkety wink. And I just did it over the whole thing. You can put your Winkastella on your designer paper too. You don't need to just save it for where you colored. There. A little bit of glam for our birdhouse card. Isn't that quick and easy? I mean, you can, the dies here, you can really go to town with the dies, because you can die cut the ruffle. You can die cut the little trim piece. Then you can die cut the roof line. I mean, basically, you can make the birdhouse. Here's the perch. You can make the birdhouse without stamping it. But when you can take a shortcut, I mean, why not, right? That will give you more time to make more cards. So let me just do a little bit of housekeeping. And this will be the card, one of the cards of my upcoming class on June 8th. And I just wanted to remind you that it's not too late to get in on the starter kit special. This is fantastic. You get a $246 value for only $99, because you get $125 of product of your choice, Plus, they throw in the $82 worth of the new in color products. This, you get all the stamp sets. There's two more. A pack of assorted pack, the markers, and a pack of the designer paper. And they're going to throw all that in for free. You don't have to even put it in your shopping cart. They do it all for you. So that's pretty amazing. And this special is only good until midnight tomorrow, May 31st. So if you're thinking about it, don't hesitate. You can sign up, go to my Stampin' Up store, kathyschmidt.stampinup.net, and click join, and you will join my team of backyard stampers. If you don't want to participate in or become a demonstrator, oh, let me just back up just a minute. So a lot of people get scared off by the demonstrator part, but you can really just get the starter kit. You can purchase from then on and get a 20% discount, or you can not purchase anything at all after the starter kit. There's no obligation. If you do decide you want to continue going, it's a $300 per quarter minimum, but with your 20% discount, that's $240 over a 3-month period. And if you signed up in May, you would not have to hit that minimum until the end of September, plus you get the pending month of October. So what that does is bring you through our new catalog, the mini catalog, where you can pre-order, because that's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. So you don't have to run it as a business. You can just be a discount shopper. All are welcome on my team, and we have a lot of fun. So if you're thinking about it and want to chat, please send me an email, backyardstamper@gmail.com, but hurry because it ends tomorrow night. The other way to get the in color, if you didn't want to be a demonstrator on my team, is you can join my in color club. And over a 5-month period, you get all of the 5 colors. So 1 month you'll get Shy Shamrock, 1 month you'll get Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, and Summer Splash. So it runs May through September or June through October, whatever the 5-month period is when you join. Each month you'd get the ink pad, one of the Stampin' Right markers, the pack of the blends, the ink refill, a full roll of the ribbon, which is gorgeous and very nice to tie bows with, 8 sheets of the designer paper, and 10 sheets of cardstock. Basically, you're going to get everything that goes with that particular month's in color. So all the pieces of the Peach Pie would be in Peach Pie month. And these are those cards that are there. So you'll see the colors. That's Pretty in Pink. This is Shy Shamrock. And in the picture, it looks a lot like the Summer Splash, but you can see the difference when you put them together. So very green. It's a nice green. And this is a very summery, fun, bluish green. Petunia Pop and Peach Pie. So lots of fun, fresh colors. I love these in colors. And let's see, if you don't have a catalog already, please let me know. I've got a few extra. I'd be happy to send you one. And the best part of being on my team or being my customer is you get me. I'm one of the top 10 crafting essentials for your card making experiences. So I hope that you will contact me to either come to one of my classes. I hold classes in my house twice a month, or shop online at my store, kathyschmidt.stampinup.net, or join my team, the Backyard Stampers. So we have lots and lots of fun, and I'd love to talk to you more about it. So there you have it. Hope you have a great week, and I will be back here next Thursday with another live video. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye now.